What would bring hundreds of devoted fans to Shanghai Airport to welcome Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi back to China after their extended stay in Paris filming the international variety show Wow the World 2? And what does the intensity of their homecoming reception reveal about how much their international appearance meant to their domestic fanbase? The entertainment world was absolutely electrified yesterday when Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi finally arrived back in Shanghai after completing their filming commitments in Paris for the prestigious international variety show Wow the World 2, with their return to Chinese soil apparently triggering the kind of overwhelming fan response that demonstrates just how much their supporters had been following their international journey and anticipating their arrival home. The footage that has now been viewed over 3 billion times shows both performers looking visibly tired, but genuinely happy as they made their way through Shanghai International Airport's arrivals area, with hundreds of fans screaming and holding signs expressing welcome messages and expressions of pride about their participation in the international production that had expanded their global reach and visibility beyond just the Chinese entertainment market. The fact that such substantial crowd gathered specifically to welcome them home despite the relatively late arrival time and the unpredictability of international flight schedules demonstrates the dedicated nature of their fanbase and the significance that the Paris filming experience had held for supporters who viewed it as major professional milestone, an international validation of their favorite performers' talents and importance. Why would Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's return from Paris generate such passionate fan response that hundreds of people would coordinate to welcome them at the airport? And what does this reveal about how their international experience was being followed and anticipated by their domestic Chinese fanbase? According to various fan accounts and reports about the airport atmosphere, Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's extended stay in Paris to film Wow the World 2 had apparently generated enormous interest and curiosity among their supporters who had been tracking their international journey through social media, live streams, and any available updates about their experience working on the prestigious European television production. The specific anticipation about their return and the desire to welcome them home apparently reflected fans' investment in their success and their desire to celebrate alongside the performers the conclusion of what many viewed as significant career milestone and opportunity that had expanded their international professional experience and credibility. The decision to gather at the airport rather than just posting congratulatory messages on social media suggested fans understood that in-person welcome and acknowledgement felt more meaningful and authentic than digital interaction, creating space for genuine human connection and celebration that would create shared memory between performers and supporters. The detail that has observers noting the genuine human connection between artists and fans is that Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi apparently didn't rush through the airport despite the late arrival time and their obvious exhaustion from international travel, but instead took time to acknowledge the gathered crowd, wave, make gestures of gratitude, and engage with fans who were expressing excitement and support for their international experience and successful completion of the filming. The specific choice to honor the fan gathering and to invest time in acknowledging their supporters rather than quickly transiting through the terminal with minimal engagement demonstrates how much both performers value their fanbase and how much they understand that the relationship with people who support their careers is worth prioritizing even when personal exhaustion and logistical pressures might make quick departure more convenient. The visible emotion on both performers' faces as they acknowledged the crowd and as they witnessed the overwhelming welcome suggested they were genuinely moved by the fan response and by the reminder of how much they matter to people who have supported them throughout their career development and who had been anxious about their safety and success during the extended international stay. The Paris airport departure that preceded their Shanghai arrival apparently involved its own significant moment with fans or media gathering to see them off. Though detailed accounts of the Paris departure are less extensively documented than coverage of their Shanghai homecoming, with the focus naturally shifting to their return to home country rather than their departure from France. The fact that they were departing a major European city, where they had just completed significant international television production, apparently felt different and more momentous than typical international travel, with the goodbye aspect of leaving Paris marking the end of the Paris experience and the beginning of reintegration into their home entertainment market and familiar professional and personal contexts. The duration of Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's stay in Paris had apparently extended to several weeks given the intensive nature of filming commitments for Wow the World 2, meaning their return represented end of substantial period away from their home country, their domestic fanbase, and their regular professional obligations and routines in the Chinese entertainment industry. The extended time away from familiar contexts meant that their return to Shanghai and to China more broadly carried significance beyond just normal trip completion, with feelings of homecoming and relief at being back in familiar territory, apparently mixing with emotions about concluding the international experience and transitioning back to domestic entertainment focus. The specific interaction between Lu Yuning, Zhao Lusi and the gathered fans at Shanghai Airport apparently included multiple moments of connection and appreciation, with reports of both performers making eye contact with fans, responding to fan signs and messages, and in some cases engaging in brief conversations or acknowledgements with individual supporters who had come specifically to welcome them home. The willingness to create these individual moments of connection rather than treating the fan gathering as faceless crowd to be managed demonstrated respect and appreciation for people who had invested time and emotion in supporting their international journey. The fan signs and messages visible in footage from the Shanghai airport arrival apparently included expressions of pride in Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's international participation, congratulations for successfully completing the Wow the World 2 filming, and various welcome messages expressing joy at their safe return to China. The creativity and effort visible in the signs and displays demonstrated the same dedication and investment that fans had shown throughout the performers' international stay, with supporters apparently wanting to communicate that the journey had been followed and appreciated, and that they were excited to celebrate the return and the accomplishment of the international performance opportunity. The media presence at the Shanghai airport arrival was apparently substantial given the high-profile nature of both performers and the significance of their international experience, with photographers and reporters gathering to document the return and to capture any statements or quotes that might be provided about the Paris experience and the Wow the World 2 filming. The convergence of fan enthusiasm and media interest created atmosphere of significant public event rather than routine airport arrival, transforming what could have been ordinary travel logistics into meaningful moment being documented and shared across multiple platforms and reaching audiences far beyond just those present at the airport. The specific appearance and condition of both performers as visible in footage from their Shanghai arrival apparently showed signs of fatigue consistent with extended international travel and intensive filming schedule, with both showing the kind of tiredness that comes from weeks of working in unfamiliar environment, while managing language barriers, cultural differences, and the pressure of representing Chinese entertainment on international platform. The fact that despite visible tiredness they made effort to acknowledge and appreciate the welcoming crowd suggested the fan reception gave them energy and reminded them of why their work matters and why the international commitment had been worthwhile. The social media documentation of their Shanghai airport return has been extensive, with fans who gathered to welcome them posting photos, videos, and detailed accounts of the moment across multiple platforms, creating digital record of the homecoming that extends the significance beyond just those physically present at the airport to include global audiences following their journey. The specific clips and images that have gained most viral traction are those showing the most genuine moments of connection between performers and fans, with the authenticity and emotional resonance of these moments apparently resonating with audiences globally who appreciate unfiltered genuine celebration, rather than polished manufactured content. The broader implications for Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's international profile and career trajectory following their Paris experience and their triumphant homecoming have been subject of discussion among entertainment industry observers, with recognition that the international television appearance on Wow the World 2 has expanded their visibility and credibility beyond just Chinese market, and has positioned them as performers who can succeed on international stages. The potential for future international opportunities and collaborations emerging from their successful Paris experience has become subject of speculation, with industry professionals noting that such international exposure can open doors that would be difficult to access without such visible credentials and experience. In conclusion, Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi's return to Shanghai from Paris following completion of their Wow the World 2 filming has created one of the most joyful and meaningful homecoming moments in recent entertainment history, with hundreds of devoted fans gathering to welcome them back to China and to celebrate the international achievement